Hey YouTube, Card Hound here. Well, believe it or not, it's been over a year since my last video. Kind of stopped collecting cards there for a little while. Sometimes I guess life happens, but I have been collecting some cards recently that I did want to show you guys. So I guess I'll just jump right into it. First card is just a card I found cheap on eBay. It was a 1979 Topps Pedro Guerrero. Five-time All-Star and also a career 300 hitter. Really, honestly, the main reason I got it was it was a cheap card to buy online. And a 9 and a 79 is a pretty nice grade on that. So, picked up the Pedro Guerrero. Had that one for a little while. Next card is actually kind of a big card for me. Pretty big Rickey Henderson fan. So an 81 Henderson, I got it in a Beckett 9. All the subgrades are all 9s. So I haven't gotten his rookie card yet. Obviously, this one's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying the rookie card. So I figured I would start with this one first, and that is the back. Obviously, I think pretty much undisputed the greatest leadoff hitter in history. And obviously stolen base king. So happy to get the second year on the Henderson. Next card would be a rookie card of Andre Dawson. So what was that, a 77 Topps? Got it in an 8. It is a little bit of struggle to find this card centered. So I kind of had to wait a while on eBay to find one. And really, the Dawson's not very expensive either. The reason that I really like Andre Dawson is so when I really started getting into baseball in the late 80s, early 90s, he was an all-star for about 5 years running during that span. Also, I think it was like 87 or 88, he had 49 home runs. So, Hall of Famer, didn't get 500 home runs or 3,000 hits, but still a really solid career and a really long career as well. So, that is a few baseball cards. And next up, now I've shown this card before, but apparently I have some type of obsession with Mr. Tony Gwynn, because now I have not one but two Tony Gwynn rookies. So it's 83 Topps. Both of them really well centered. Again, and I gushed about him in one of my previous videos, but I think just really an underrated player overall. And I'm able to get these cards really affordably, so I figure why not pick up another one. Probably on my hit list for Gwynn going forward would probably be an 84 Topps Tiffany. Or the 84 Donruss for second year cards. Also probably a Fleer and a Donruss 83 probably as well. Next card would go along with the Tony Gwynn since it was the same year and also a Hall of Famer, Ryne Sandberg. So Sandberg, again, same time period, was also really big. I think he hit 40 home runs one season in that time frame. But obviously a Hall of Famer, great player. This one's not quite as well centered as the Gwynns. So again, if I flip the Gwynns over, they'll probably have a little better centering than the Sandberg does. But again, I'm a pretty big fan of the 83 Topps. So another card I'm going to be looking to get soon would be the Wade Boggs in the 83 Topps. So, and maybe even an 83 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. as well for his second year. So that is a few more baseball cards. So another one that I got maybe a couple weeks ago. So slamming Sammy Sosa. So you guys that have watched my previous videos know that I'm in Texas. I have lamented for years the fact that he started off in the Texas Rangers organization, and we traded him off. So obviously a great career. Steroid allegations, again, like I've said before, I don't really care about that much. Just really enjoy watching the player. The home run race with Mark McGwire. He has over, if I'm not mistaken, like 600 home runs. So don't know if he'll ever make it in the Hall of Fame, but pretty cheap card to buy. And like I said, a real player that I enjoyed watching his career. So got that one. The next one is really a departure for me. I haven't, and I think I've said before, I haven't gotten that many really old vintage cards yet. So this is one of my first vintage cards. So it is a 1967 Topps Frank Robinson. And I think a lot of collectors who are kind of like me, kind of collecting on a budget, Frank Robinson is a pretty attractive guy to collect because if you look at his stats, I mean, he's up there with some of the greats, right? I mean, he's got comparable stats to, well, I mean, I guess I can't say Hank Aaron, but up there with Willie Mays and some of the Ted Williams, some of those type of guys. If I'm not mistaken, he has over 500 home runs, I believe over 3,000 hits, a ton of all-stars, multiple MVPs, just a great player. But he's kind of a guy that over the decades has been a little bit, I guess, forgotten and is not as heralded as Mays and Mantle and Williams and some of those guys. But it is an 8, which for a 67 is a terrific grade. Now it does have a little bit of kind of a printing issue, I think, on his name. There's kind of a little bit of an issue there, but other than that, it looks like a pretty solid card. And like I said, it was just kind of I saw it as a pretty good deal on eBay, so it was nice to kind of collect a vintage card. I have a couple, but not many at this point. So that is it for the baseball. So, well, actually, I have one other baseball card, but I'm going to hold that one to the end. I do have a couple football. So, that was what, 83, right? Yeah, 1983 Topps rookie Mike Singletary and a 9. One of the first football teams that I fell in love with was actually not the Cowboys. It was the 85 Bears. So, Mike Singletary obviously was the leader of that defense. Him staring down the offense and the quarterback and the running back, that look is legendary. Obviously, the head coach of the Niners for a while, went to Baylor, just an all-around legendary player. So happy to get the Mike Singletary. This next card I've had for a long time. I don't know why I didn't show it in a previous video. So it is an Art Monk rookie. Great career, a ton of 1,000-yard seasons. He played for the Redskins, so, not my favorite player being a Cowboy fan, but, a terrific wide receiver, and pretty nice card. Like I said, a 9 for an 81, I think is terrific. So, happy to get that one. Now, the last 3, I'm going to spend just a little more time on, and the reason being is all 3 of these players are pretty much top 5 favorite players for me in their respective sport. So the first one is a huge card for me to have gotten. It is a 1989 Score rookie Barry Sanders. So absolutely love Barry Sanders. It's probably blasphemous to say, but I actually like Barry Sanders even more than Emmitt Smith. If you go back and watch his runs, just his career, I mean, every year he had a 1,000-yard season. He had over a 2,000-yard season. His career, honestly, is really comparable to Jim Brown's if you look at the stats, because I believe Jim Brown had over 1,000 yards every year as well. Retired early. I mean, he probably could have challenged for Emmitt's rushing record. Absolutely love Barry Sanders. And, the one other thing I was going to mention, so it is a 9.5, so I didn't get it in a PSA 10, but subgrades, right? I've harped on the subgrades in the past. All 9.5s, and then a 10 on surface. So, again, to me, that's as good as a PSA 10. So, happy to get the Barry Sanders. Like I said, love Barry Sanders, one of my top 5 football players all time. So the next one, so this is the only basketball card that I actually got in this haul, but one of my top 5 favorite players all time. So that would be a 1986 Fleer rookie, and he does have a star card, but this is his Fleer rookie card of Hakeem Olajuwon. So absolutely love Hakeem. So a couple things about Hakeem. Number one, he is the first time I ever heard the term quadruple double was in relation to Hakeem Olajuwon. He actually had either one game or multiple games where he actually had double digits in points. I think it was points, steals, rebounds, and blocks. Amazing player. Pretty much as good defensively as he was offensively. Won 2 championships when Jordan was playing baseball. I know it might be controversial. I think as good as Hakeem was at that point, I think they really could have given the Bulls a run for their money. I don't know that they could have won in those years, but Hakeem was amazing. Schooled Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson in the playoffs, and loved both of those players. So that is the back of that one. Also, subgrades on this one. So we're talking at 86. So subgrades on this one. So we got all nines, and then we got a 9.5 on, what was the 9.5? On Surface. So again, really excited about getting the card. Definitely a top 5 player all time for me. So the last one, pretty controversial, is Barry Bonds, right? So Barry Bonds, when I was watching him, to me, for my eyes, he was the most exciting player that I had seen. Obviously, steroid allegations, like I've always said, I don't really care about that much. I got his 87 Fleer, and I have wanted this card forever. So the card has been going up quite a bit in price because him and Clemens, it looks like in the next year or two, might actually make the Hall of Fame, even, in lieu of the steroid allegations. But just ridiculously amazing career. 7 MVPs. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever even approached that. And even if you go back and look at his career in Pittsburgh before he went to San Francisco, terrific career. There, he won, I believe, 1 MVP there. Stolen bases, hits, defense. I mean, just an all-around terrific player. A lot of people said that, other than Griffey, he was probably the best all-around player they'd seen since Willie Mays. But this is the back on that one. Like I said, Barry Bonds stuff really seems to be going up in price quite a bit. So, this one I definitely paid more for it than I would have, probably even a year or two ago. But it's a card that I definitely wanted. And like I said, when I used to watch in the 80s and 90s, he was one of my favorite guys to watch. So that is, so this is my big 3, I guess, as far as this haul. So, I just wanted to kind of shoot another video and just kind of show you guys at least a few cards I've been collecting. I do have more on the way. I definitely have been watching videos from you guys and have enjoyed a lot of the stuff you guys have been collecting as well. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will try to make another video soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.